Hello, my name is Sarah Schroeder and I'm the Senior EPR Data Quality Training Facilitator for Education at Bradford Teaching Hospitals. In this video, I will be demonstrating the process of how to schedule a critical emergency procedure, also known as direct booking, for when the patient requires an emergency C-section for the same day. All SOPs for this process can be found via the EPR SOPs desktop icon. Once you've double-clicked onto the icon and navigated through to the appropriate trust, you can either locate the appropriate SOP by going into the applicable section, or you can do a document quick search located at the top of the screen. All titles for the SOPs covered within this video will be provided in the description box below, as well as timestamps if you wish to skip to this section. In terms of the patient's journey, the patient will already be acutely admitted into a maternity location, and it has been decided that a C-section is required for the same day. We will now proceed with scheduling this procedure in Scheduling Appointment Book. This process is essential for ensuring that the patient shows on the perioperative tracking board within PowerChart. Beginning this process within Scheduling Appointment Book, you will need to be within the Appointment tab. Appointment type, you can begin by typing in BTHFT emergency, and when you press Enter on your keyboard, or you can alternatively select the ellipsis icon, it will then give you a list of the available emergency appointment types. I'm going to be selecting BTHFT Emergency Maternity Theatres and press OK, and for the appointment location I will need to drop this down to BRIM Maternity Theatres. The patient name, you will then need to search for the patient who you are needing to book the direct booking in for. In this case, who is requiring the emergency C-section. To search for the patient, I'm going to click onto the ellipsis icon to the right of this box. Within the search window, you have the available search options down the left-hand side, in which you can search for the patient using the NHS number, medical record number, or demographic details. For this example, I am going to use the patient's MRN number and press the search button. Ensure that you've definitely found the correct patient requiring the emergency C-section, using the demographics in the top screen, and in the bottom screen you should have an active inpatient encounter type with a recent reg date. In this case the patient was newly admitted today, so I do have a reg date for today's date. And I can also see the encounter status is still showing as active. Selecting this active inpatient encounter and pressing OK, it will then drop down to the next field, which is any additional comments, such as reasons why the emergency cesarean section is required. Primary surgeon, I am going to use Lucy Jackson. You begin by typing in the surname of the surgeon, and you can put a comma, space, and then begin typing the first name, but generally the first letter is sufficient. Alternatively, you can put the surname and simply select the magnifying glass to the right hand side of the screen, which will give you a list of matching results, and I can also see Lucy is there in the list. I'm going to select and press OK. Either one is sufficient to get the primary surgeon into this window, and I now have all of the mandatory fields completed. Next step, I'm going to click the Move button, which takes the information within the appointment tab and it puts it in a work in progress. This will trigger a pop-up window to appear, and at this stage I have in the bottom section of my screen a search field. Now in this search field, this is where I will need to search for the particular order for the surgery that we are about to book for this patient. You can begin by typing in MAT for maternity, space, EM for emergency. Pressing enter, it will give you a list of the maternity emergency procedures. For this scenario, I am going to be following a cesarean section. To get this selected, you will just double click. It will pop it into the top screen, as well as opening a form on the right hand side of the screen. Filling in the yellow mandatory fields category, as this is an emergency, I am going to put the priority as 1. I am going to confirm that the theatre coordinator has already been contacted. And the final field is antiplatelet or anticoagulant. I'm going to put unknown at the time of this request. Ensuring all of the mandatory fields have been completed and selecting OK to this. And it has opened the schedule for today. So I can see in the calendar that it has selected today's day. And I can also see this at the top of the calendar. It has opened up the 2 resources available, which is Maternity 1 and Maternity 2. So I'm going to book this patient into Mat 2 for the emergency. And I'm going to take the next available time slot, which is 9:45. Once you've selected the time slot that you're booking the patient in for, coming to the schedule in the top right-hand corner of the screen, it will give you a pop-up window confirming the resource, the default slot you've selected, as well as the time. It has automatically entered this as a 5-minute duration, so I will take that out and I'll put this down as a 1-hour duration instead. Pressing OK, this is now provisionally booked into this slot, so I just need to come back to the top right hand corner and press the confirm button. It will come up with a pop-up window which I can just select OK to this, and that is my patient now fully scheduled in for their emergency caesarean section. Once the procedure has been scheduled and confirmed within Schedule and Appointment Book, the patient will be showing on the perioperative tracking board. Thank you for watching this video. If you have any questions relating to any of the processes covered within this video, you can contact any member of the team on the email addresses provided. Alternatively, you can email epr.dqtraining@bthft.nhs.uk. This email account is monitored by the entire EPR training team and it is monitored daily.